All right.
Awesome. Good morning, Chair Harmon and Commissioners. My name is Michaela Coates, and I'm Surfrider's Southern California Regional Manager, here to update you on OCTA's efforts to armor South San Clemente's irreplaceable beaches to protect its rail line. Surfrider commissioned Bob Battalio, a respected coastal scientist with decades of experience, to produce 2 reports on OCTA's existing and proposed armoring, the effects on its beaches, and the potential for nature-based alternatives. Next slide, please. His first report covers Cypress Shores, the beach between the world-famous trestle surf breaks to the south and San Clemente State Beach to the north. Between 2021 and 2023, OCTA used emergency permits to drop 27,000 tons of boulders across this stretch, and the result is that a once walkable beach has been reduced to a pile of rock. The waves break directly onto the boulders, access is blocked, and the connection to trestles in the south is gone. The armoring has also degraded wave quality at Cotton's Point, the northernmost surf break at Trestles, and reflection off the rock ruins the waves, and surfers face a dangerous wall of rock instead of a sandy exit. Next slide, please. But the report's most significant finding is actually that OCTA's armoring is counterintuitive. The boulders don't make the railroad safer, they actually make it more dangerous. As sandy beaches absorb and buffer wave energy, rocks instead reflect that energy, scouring the seafloor and carving an underwater trough. As the trough deepens, bigger waves break closer to the rocks, which calls for more rocks, which creates the self-reinforcing cycle, pulling the ocean's wave forces closer to the rail line, which Battalio has documented evidence of. So staff is now negotiating a follow-up CDP to formalize this armoring, and Surfrider's position is that the beach must be restored and, at minimum, the footprint of the armoring dramatically reduced. Next slide, please. And I will pass it off to my colleague, Alex.
Good morning, I'm Alex Ferrer-Mignona, Coastal Adaptation Manager for the Surfrider Foundation. Battalio's second report looks just north, where OCTA proposes to continue and expand armoring. OCTA calls it Area 4, but put clearly, it's the southern half of San Clemente State Beach. In the images, you can see Area 4 and Cypress Shores from the north and south, along with some wayfinding. OCTA first tried to emergency permit up to 33,000 tons of boulders across 2,000 feet of this public beach. The commission denied it. Thank you. Now staff are negotiating a regular CDP for a boulder revetment or seawall. OCTA has agreed to a one-time sand replenishment, but Battalio concludes that's nowhere near enough to offset decades of compounding beach loss. And armoring here would trigger the same self-defeating cycle Michaela described. Next slide, please. But Area 4 differs from Cypress Shores in a very huge way. It still has a wide beach with a vegetated sandy berm that shields the tracks and helps rebuild the beach after storms the way natural dunes do. OCTA's proposal would trade that functioning feature for more rock. Battalio concludes armoring could be avoided here in the near term in favor of a nature-based adaptation strategy, as is being invested in other San Clemente beaches. Here's what it could look like. Dune restoration is viable on beaches that are about 150 feet wide, a threshold this beach already hovers around. Paired with sand replenishment, a restored dune system here would work with the existing berm as layered defense. A sandy beach slope for wave run-up, followed by dunes to buffer higher wave energy, and then the existing berm as a backstop. Layered, nature-based protection. A healthy beach with functioning dynamics is the best protection for infrastructure. Next slide. Thank you so much. I'll pass it over to Mitch.
Good morning, Commissioners. Mitch Silverstein, State Policy for Surfrider, here to bring it home. Michaela and Alex covered the situation and our position, so I'll close with Battalio's recommendations, as well as reiterating the conclusions we've drawn from the report. In that photo, that's Bob Battalio right there on site. For both sites, first, document the armoring properly. It was nearly impossible to reconstruct OCTA's full permitting history across Cypress Shores in Area 4, and some of that armoring may still be unpermitted. The Commission and the public have a right to that record. Second, require OCTA to maintain a beach in front of any armoring. We oppose armoring, but it's far less harmful with a beach in front of it. Third, expand monitoring. OCTA's current monitoring is too narrow. It should cover ecology and ecosystem services like recreation, access, and surfing, the way that the Coastal Commission does. Next slide, please. Now going to Cypress Shores, where we've lost the beach due to the armoring. Battalio concludes we need to evaluate whether we can reduce the footprint of the revetment. Those boulders were dropped very haphazardly under emergency permits and have spread seaward, making the impacts worse. Our position is that footprint can and must be reduced and the beach restored. Next slide, please. Now moving on to Area 4, or San Clemente State Beach. As Alex said, we need to do some things to restore that beach instead of armor it. Battalio concludes that we should investigate restoring natural sand supply from the railway that the railway now traps through the drainage arroyos and use that to expand the existing berm. Also widen the beach with nourishment paired with native dune restoration. This is our position, these must be implemented and monitored before any consideration of hard armoring. And then next slide. The big one, and this goes without saying, is that we need to assess relocating the rail line as soon as practicable. Only realignment resolves the underlying conflict between protecting the rail and preserving the beach. That corridor was closed nearly 9 months in 2023 due to storm damage and bluff failure. With sea level rise, it only gets worse. Each foot multiplies the threat exponentially, and flooding that's rare today becomes routine within our lifetimes. Thank you for your continued support in saving South OC's beaches from endless boulders. A couple notes, the handouts are just for you to take with you. They don't summarize just his findings, but they summarize Surfrider's positions informed by those findings. Thank you.